my first year teaching, I had this class of 5th grade boys, right? And it was this one specific kid who he had a lower reading level, so we had to work together one-on-one to do his reading assignments. And he always seemed like super sad. He used to beg me every day to use my phone, so he called his mom and go home. Hated school. He almost seemed depressed, you know what I'm saying? And I didn't know much about depression at the time, but he almost seemed depressed to me. And one day, you know, we was working on the assignment, the read assignment one-on-one, and we finished it a little early. So this is the first time we actually got to kick it and bond and talk a little bit. And towards the end of us wrapping up the session, he was like, hey, did you hear about my sister? And I'm like, nah, what happened to your sister? He's like, my sister went here last year, and she died in a fire over the summer. You know, everybody been talking about it. And I'm like, oh, I heard about it, but I didn't know that was your sister. And he was like, yeah, so the house was on fire, and she was on the 2nd floor. And she was looking out the window, and we was all telling her to jump out. And it seemed like something like snatched her back in the house. What do you think it was that pulled her away from the window? That's what he asked me. And I'm like, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? And it was felt like in getting close to him, I kind of opened up Pandora's box of like him just expressing things to me that I didn't understand how to respond to. In my first year teaching, I just wasn't prepared for that. So moving forward with this same kid, we went on winter break. And over winter break, you know, school got back in, and he wasn't there for like the first couple of days. And I'm like, you know, where my boy at? What's going on? And they like, well, you know, over the break, on New Year's, you know, people were shooting in the sky or whatever, and a bullet came through the window and hit him in the hand. So he ain't, you know, he fine, but he ain't gonna be in school for a little minute to you know, till he get a little better. I'm like, damn, that's crazy, you know. And then a couple months later, before the end of the school year, he was in the crib playing a game. His pops was on a porch, and somebody did a drive-by, hit his pops, and his pops ran in the crib and fell out in front of him and died. And I'm like, damn, this is like 3 super traumatic events in less than a calendar year.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? For a 12-year-old kid. And teaching in Inglewood, that shit was kind of common. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of my students was just going through stuff that I either never experienced or didn't even see or had to think about until I was 16, 17 years old. And it was ridiculous. And looking back at it, the craziest part is that, you know, they go through all this trauma. A lot of them are depressed. A lot of them, you know, living in poverty, lack of resources. Some of them experience so much murder and things like that they just angry to the core. You know what I'm saying? They in the streets, they in this environment, but it's like they always end up in front of a judge before a therapist, like every time. You know what I'm saying? So today I want to talk about like what we can do to help our city, what we can do to help our youth, what we can do to help our community on a local level, as well as like the message we can spread to get people to help kids on a national level. You know what I'm saying? So
if you lazy, you waking up at fucking 3 o'clock in the afternoon and shit like that,
Popping bottles,
you're setting the tone for everybody because you're the leader.
popping pills,
That's just what comes with being a man.
popping bitch ass niggas.
I don't want nobody making decisions over my life except me. Not a woman, not a judge, not an officer, not no motherfucking body.
When them bullets hit him up, look like son had a seizure. Run up, give it up, you know the procedure. I be sipping Jack and honey.
I don't think nothing can make me feel like a man. I don't think nothing can make me not feel like a man.
Days on my collar.
You can't take the benefits of being a man without the responsibilities.
Give you niggas halos on God in the king.
Welcome back to Roses I Did. I'm Terry Rosen.
I'm waiting. I'm Jones.
What's going on, man? How's your week, brother?
I'm chilling, man. Week is smooth. Week is smooth. No complaints. Real productive.
Yeah.
I need to get some more sleep. I ain't gonna lie. Like, I need to be more responsible with my time management and getting more sleep. Like, on average, I'm probably going to sleep at 11. Like, on average. But I'm waking up at 5 in the morning. So I need to be getting my ass in the bed. I low key, if it was a perfect world, I need to be asleep by 9.
I be going to sleep at 10 and waking up at 5. 6 hours is, what's that, 7 hours? Yeah, that's 7 hours. That's decent.
I don't know. It feels like it's less because during that time I'm up, I'm doing so much, so my body is like even more tired. Just like I need more rest.
Yeah, for sure.
I remember, I think this one day this week, I woke up, and as soon as I opened my eyes, I was exhausted. I'm like, what the fuck? And that was just pure off of just like not enough rest. I know, like some people who experience that, they probably going through some shit mentally or like something on your mind, going through some shit mentally. But no, I'm okay. I just need some more sleep. But overall, week was good. Week was cool. That was highlights. Let me see. Highlights for the week. More progress at work. That's been cool. Let's see what else. I'm getting ready to launch like a community for my fitness. I don't want to say I'm not gonna be a personal trainer. Please don't ask me that. But I am gonna be helping people that ask me about fitness stuff.
For sure. For me, I would say highlights of the week. Carter did great in boxing this morning. He was decent. He was dodging a lot of punches. I fired him up a little bit. He was crying a little bit, but he got over it. So that was cool. Other than that, I don't know. It was a cool week, man. I took Kaysen to his little water park. He was able to jump in there and do his thing and tweak out a little bit.
That bigger than all the other kids. That boy is growing.
Kaysen, yeah. He's the smallest kid that day in the water park. Yeah.
Wow.
He's like dope. But other than that, I don't really got no low lights for the week. It's been a small little week. You know what I'm saying? Nothing too crazy. But I want to jump into this first. Let's jump into this consultation first, right?
But
let's jump into this consultation. So the question for the consultation is, how do you know that you're ready for a relationship? Mm-hmm. How do you know you're ready for a relationship?
For me, I think when you work intentionally on yourself, and then the opportunity an opportunity comes across where a relationship is possible.
Yeah.
And you've already been doing like the work. Like, let's say you've been going to therapy, you've been, reflecting, journaling, all that self-care stuff.
Yeah.
And you've been intentional about that, and you feel like somebody is a worthy person to start a relationship with in that moment, then you'll know.
For sure.
That's how I feel.
I agree with that. To add to that, I say you gotta be consistent in all seasons to know you're ready for a relationship. Mm-hmm. A lot of times you feel like you're ready for a relationship because your roster low.
Yeah.
You feel like you're ready for a relationship because it's cold outside. It ain't really nothing to do. You in the crib for weeks.
Yeah.
You need somebody to cook for you. You know what I'm saying? You just lonely. You don't want no relationship. You just lonely. But if it's hot outside, that roster full, you know what I'm saying, the boats is out,
man,
the day party's popping, and you still want a girl, then you probably really want a girl.
Yeah.
That's when you know.
Test.
That's when you know that you really want a girl. But I think that, a lot of times we can confuse desiring a relationship for being lonely.
Yeah, I agree.
And it's just kind of like when I'm at the airport, right, and I'm at the gate, and it's 90 minutes until they open the gate for me to get on the flight. I'm sitting at the gate and I say, fuck, you know what, I'm hungry, right? So I go to the food court, look around, see all this different shit. Fuck, I'm fuck this Chinese food. I'm gonna order that. Give me an extra egg roll. Give me one of them crab ragon joints. Get the food, get back to the gate, sit down, open it up, take 2 bites of that shit and be like,
I don't
even want this shit. I wasn't hungry. I was just bored. Like, you know what I'm saying? And it's the same way when you think you want a girlfriend. Like, you don't want a relationship. You just bored. Like, when you get in a relationship and you got to text her back and say good morning and compromise and check in and manage somebody's emotions. You be like, I don't do all this shit. I just wanted some coochie on a consistent basis and somebody to watch this new season of Power with. I ain't really.
I ain't for all that shit, man. Want a relationship. Damn. But that's real, though.
Like, yeah, I've done it multiple times. Like, what if get on your line, get the like, why you tell you made home? You be like, oh my fucking God. Like,
what do you mean?
What you mean?
What?
Like,
getting irritated off the smallest shit.
You don't want that relationship.
You out,
you don't want that relationship. You just bored. You just lonely. Man. But news. news. We talked about this a little bit before the joint. So
This nigga here.
Jones is pissed that people are pissed that Bronny got drafted.
Yeah, I am.
LeBron James' son has got drafted to the Lakers. They are the first father and son duo to play on the same team in the NBA, which is dope. That's black excellence for sure. LeBron being as resilient and not as resilient is having the endurance that he has is black excellence. Like that nigga got in the league at 18. He's been in the NBA more than half of the time that he's been alive.
Yeah.
That's crazy. He's
And
not even 40
just
yet.
in the NBA, performing
That guy.
at a high level,
Top 10 player.
in the NBA for all that time. And just to, because a lot of people may not know basketball like that, and or just athleticism. If you're 30 years old, I want you to go jump off maybe the 4th step of your porch.
Yeah.
You're gonna feel that shit. You're gonna be like, damn,
Yeah.
I want you to run up the stairs, one flight.
Yeah.
Like, now imagine being a 40-year-old man running up and down the court for an hour, performing at a high level. Like, it's nothing to sneeze at. But I don't like the fact. Get into this shit.
I was gonna give him some more props. So, go ahead.
Look, my fault. I don't like the fact that I seen men in the comments like
just men, like it's just men is the problem.
no, like I ain't really paying attention to if it was women, honestly.
But it is like a male based thing, like a fatherhood thing. But
that's why I'm focused on it, because we're talking about a father and a son, NBA history, all that type of stuff. Yeah. But I'm seeing men in the comments and men with sons in the comments. This nigga only got the job because his daddy woo, and just like bashing it. Now, my take on that, you can't say that if you would do the same for your son. Like, you could be upset, like you said. Like, yeah, it could be upset. But if you would sit up here and turn around, if you would be like, oh, hell no, you bogus, or like you ain't that qualified and all of that, and somebody turn around and get an opportunity to you based off of what you say that your son could be in the NBA, you would do the same thing. So I don't get, you can't be on the internet talking about some, oh, hell no, but you in the same breath, like, oh, shit, I'll do it too. I know.
I disagree. I think
I
that
know.
I think that is bogus. But you would do it. Like a lot of things in life. Like that's wrong, but I would do the same thing. Right? Yeah. I don't know how to put it no simpler than that. I feel like, you know what I'm saying, if a nigga like rob a bank and get away with it, it's like, man, you put that gun in that bank teller face, that's fucked up. I would have did the same shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, I like, what you want me to say? Like, so I think it's two sides of the coin. I think that, Bronny didn't earn being in the NBA. His father earned it. You know what I'm saying? His father not only earned his own spot in the NBA in the Hall of Fame, but he earned the right to be able to pull in and be like him, go get him. Like, that's dope. That's dope that he was able to do that for his family. Kudos to LeBron. But has Bronny earned it himself? Absolutely not. I think that people are mad. Some people are just haters. Like, at the end of the day, some people are just haters. But I think the reason why I feel like they have a point is because there's no other NBA, right? So we talk about nepotism, which we need more of in the black community. We need more positions so we can exercise nepotism.
Black privilege, like
ourselves.
Bro said.
Charlemagne,
yeah.
Absolutely. But the thing is, if it's usually this happens in the accounting firm or the fire department or and there's a lot of accounting firms. There's big four accounting firms. There's big law firms. There's one NBA. So if you don't make it, you don't make it. Like, there's no like other job out there for you. Like, you know what I'm saying? Your ass got to go overseas. It's a completely different life. Like, the last man on the bench in the NBA probably makes 6 times the biggest nigga in Europe. You get what I'm saying? So and you've been working your whole life for this. And again, it'd be different if Bronny was averaging 12 points a game, 10 points a game with a crazy upside. And they say, you know what, we're going to pick you over the nigga that was averaging 16 because we could just see your upside. Bronny wasn't on shit. And he had a heart conditioning. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, he absolutely would not have been drafted. It's other niggas. He's not the only one, though. Like, Giannis got 2 brothers in the NBA that's ass as fuck, and we know they only playing because of Giannis. Michael Porter Jr. got a brother in the NBA that's bouncing around teams that's trash. You know what I'm saying? But again, I feel like people have the right to feel a way about it, especially the kids who was averaging 16 points a game in college and who did deserve a shot. Yeah. And now it's like, you know, now he only took one spot. It's not like he took 12 spots. He took one spot. But that's one kid who like, nigga, it's a good chance that should have been fucking me, G. Like, it's a great chance that should have been me.
Yeah.
And now my whole life, I gotta go a whole different. It's not easy to make the NBA, G.
Fuck no.
I gotta go a whole different trajectory in life. But I gotta go play overseas. I gotta go to the G League. I gotta wait 2 years or whatever the fuck. Look how long it took Patrick Beverley to get in the NBA. Yeah. Like, I had to go overseas. Mm-hmm. He had to do a whole bunch of shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? To make this shit not easy, G. So, I get why niggas is mad. I'm not mad at niggas for being mad. Some niggas is hating. It's probably a heavier percentage of niggas that just want to have something to say. Yeah. But I think it's valid, though. I think it's valid.
It can be valid, but I don't want to see your ass in the comments and you have a son and you just constantly beating it, you know.
Let me ask you this, though. Do you actually think that every father would do it, though?
I can't say no. There's never totality in.
It's some dads like Bill Gates is like, I'm not leaving my kids shit.
Right, exactly.
Nothing. Yeah, like, y'all figure that shit out.
Jackie Chan too.
Jackie Chan said that?
Yeah, he like.
I didn't know he had kids.
Yeah, he said, yeah, if my son, if he's smart enough, he'll make his own money. If he's not smart enough, he gonna waste my money. So he ain't getting shit. That's what he said.
Jesus Christ.
So I can't say
I'm not mad at that.
Yeah, I really do get that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But
so what about those fathers? They got a right to be mad? The fathers who wouldn't do it. The fathers who feel like, nigga, nah, he's supposed to earn that. You ain't supposed to do that.
Yeah, you can talk.
Them niggas they can talk shit.
Yep.
For sure. For sure.
But if you would do it, just
I remember
like, that's crazy.
I want to say it was Kenny Smith who was in college at Duke. Let's just say it's Duke. I don't know what college he went to, but it was like a PWI, huge basketball school. You know, he had a hoop. You know what I'm saying? So he had a roommate, white guy, and he was always saying how the thing about the PWIs in college is like you meet like the president's kids and shit like that go there, like former presidents, shit like that. Right. He was like, he had a roommate and he was like, you know, what do your father do? And I forgot what toilet it is. It's like some popular ass toilet. It starts with a K that we see everywhere in public bathrooms.
Okay.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I can't think of it.
You just know toilets and shit. That's dope. You said Pops is a plumber. So he was saying that, like, you know, he in that family, and he was like, what you do right now? He's like, I'm a plumber. He's like, why the fuck are you a plumber if your family owns the biggest toilet company? He was like, my pop said, I got to learn how to do everything. Like, I have to learn this shit from the bottom. Yeah. If I'm going to be the CEO, I'm next in line to be the CEO of the company, but right now I'm a plumber. You know what I'm saying? And I have to learn how to do everything before I get that spot. So it's some fathers and parents, and I'm not mad at either way, though. Yeah. I'm not mad at either way, because if my son is incompetent, but it's somebody else's company, and I could get him in, like it ain't he ain't running my company. But it's like LeBron don't own the NBA. It's like, nigga, come on. Like, yeah, go sit your ass on the end of that bench. Don't fuck up the championship we trying to win, nigga. You fuck around, put his ass in the game for the last play of the finals. And point guard be mad as shit. Like, damn, y'all just gonna bench me for this nigga's son.
And he gonna get MVP. Now that'd be crazy. But shit. All in all, I don't see a problem with it. Relax, fellas. You do the same.
For sure, man. What else we got? What's next?
Your the consultation?
We did a consultation already.
Oh, yeah? Who was that?
Why? How do you know you're ready for a relationship?
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah. So I had a homegirl reach out to me, and she said, I got a question for you. Need your advice. I'm like, what's up? Shoot. She said there was this guy who kind of slid in her DM, and he expressed interest in her. Yeah. However he did that, he expressed interest in her, and she told me that she's like, yeah, he was attractive and everything, but she was like, you know, there was one thing about him that she didn't like, and it was kind of getting annoying. So after he expressed interest, he started every story she would post, he would like it. Every picture she posts, likes it. Like, I'm talking about like every one. You know what I'm saying? So to the point where she opened up her phone, and here this nigga go with, you know, remember when people used to get shouted out for the love back in the day, like a whole bunch of people shit? Like it's that. And she said, she asked me, was she tripping because she felt that it was annoying? It was coming off as thirsty, and it was just turning her off. Yeah. And I told her that I'm like, yeah, he definitely did too much. Like I don't feel like it take all that. But what I don't know, and it doesn't sound like he did. He didn't set up a date. Like he slid in the DM or whatever and expressed interest in her. And I felt like he should have probably set up something after that. Now, even if he did, he still shouldn't be doing all that liking. First of all, pause real quick. Fellas, so this won't be you. We talked about this. We have a whole tutorial, 5 steps on how to slide in the DM. Go look at that. So women don't be asking me about, fucked up shit you're doing. So what you think?
No, I think he did too much. I think I 100% agree. I think that before you do shit like that, before you show a ton, because it's sometimes I'll flood a chick page on a random, but it's like we already have a connection, we already have a rapport. She's surprised that I would even do something like that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's really like making her feel great because it's just like, oh, that's so sweet. Ooh, ooh. But it's like she liked me already. And Jody made a good point. Jody was like, well, she just don't like that nigga. Mm-hmm. And that's true, but it's because she didn't get a chance to like the nigga. Like, you know what I'm saying? The nigga just overshot his shit too quick. It's like, you know what I'm saying? Get her to buy in with some real interest first. And then jump out the window with the over compliment and all that shit. But even with the over compliment, you do that shit at certain. Nobody likes to be. It gets cringy when you over compliment somebody too much. I don't care what nobody tell you. I know women be making these statuses like, I need a nigga that don't play about me. I need a nigga that's on me 24/7. They don't want that shit for real, G. Women be in fucking fantasy land. They don't know what they want. Listen to us. Don't listen to them.
Especially if y'all don't. There's no rapport there. There's like you can't. If it's like your woman, y'all locked in, you can have those spurts where it's like, man, baby, ooh, but if y'all don't have no rapport and y'all like getting to know each other and you just like the person and you overshowering with all of this validation, she's gonna get turned off. And she also made a solid point. She said it felt like the shit was on autopilot, like it was just like an auto scene and it was disingenuous. She didn't respect it. And she actually looked at him as like a weak man. She's like, this nigga probably easy to manipulate. Like he ain't got no player, nothing about him. It's just all my cards. Here they go, boom. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
yeah, man. Yeah, I gotta have better boundaries and better like
on her.
Drip and also like just seek reciprocation for what you're doing. Like you do a little bit, and reciprocation don't have to be somebody doing exactly what you did for them. It has to be just them showing you something, right?
Some type of interest.
For example, I was just listening to Goldie. Goldie's my boy. I love Goldie, right? So Goldie was saying like a lot of women have back. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. I just seen the clip. He kind of went off. He was like, y'all be giving women points for like nothing.
Yeah, I saw that too. He sounded like he was pissed in that clip.
He was mad.
But he basically was saying a lot of women have bad character because if you like, basically women are taught to receive and not give. Like they're kind of being trained in a sense. I don't want to say trained, but they're kind of like downloading this social media ideology of like men are supposed to just do X, Y, Z. But he was like, on some character shit, I would feel bad if somebody was just constantly doing shit for me and I didn't do shit for them.
Yeah.
Right? Like it should make you feel a way that you haven't done nothing for this nigga. And, he was giving an example, like if this nigga took you on a date, one time, how many times? Like, why wouldn't you offer to pay the next time, whatever the case may be? My thing, it don't have to necessarily be a date, but you gotta be doing something. You gotta be doing something. You gotta show me that you really interested, really invested in this situation. It don't gotta be the exact same thing though, but I think that it's not enough guys that's like making sure that that's happening because they just want the girl a little too bad. You know what I'm saying? To make sure that that's happening.
And ladies, something that you could do, because I'll guarantee you, when you just said, he paid this time, like you offer to pay next time, I know they turned their nose up at that shit. Yeah. So if that's the case, one thing that you could do to show some appreciation, you ain't got to come out your pocket, you know what I'm saying, and treat them to dinner. But a good way is, hey, come over. I'm finna cook. I'm cooking tonight. I don't feel like going out. Like, let's cook. And that right there, that's a form of reciprocation. It's like, oh, okay, for sure. You looking out for me, like my pockets, and you and that's when we want to spend more time together. And we're not spending money. Yeah. Like that's showing me that, okay, you like my company and you want to do something for me in exchange for, not in exchange, but to show me that you appreciate what I have been doing up until this point.
Prime example, a chick hit me up on some flagrant shit. Like she's just like, I want to fuck.
Oh yeah, I see.
A chick hit me up like I want to fuck. And I'm like, we could kick it, you know what I'm saying? Whatever the case may be. And she was like, She not from here. She from somewhere else. So she was like, basically like, fly me out.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I was like, I'm like, nah, we don't have that rapport or connection for me to like. We haven't been through nothing. You ain't done nothing. For, like, I'm not just flying you out. So I was like, we don't have that rapport connection. If we was locked in like that, I wouldn't have no problem flying you out. But the fact that we don't have that rapport, I'm not gonna fly you out. And you know, you can pay for the flight to get here, and then once you get here, I'll take care of everything we do. You know, we go on dates, hotel, whatever. We could kick it. You know what I'm saying? We could do whatever. All right, cool. I have all the shit set up when you get here. All right, cool. And she was like, she said she'd do it. I don't know if she's gonna do it or she's not gonna do it. But regardless of the fact, I'm not sitting here worried like, damn, she bad as fuck. She thick as fuck. She cold as fuck. Like, let me go ahead and spend this 400 real quick. Woo, woo. Or she probably ain't gonna fuck. This is probably my only opportunity. Like, if I say no to this, woo, woo. It's kind of like, nah, if you don't come, you don't come. If you come, you come. It's cool. It ain't that deep. I would love for you to slide. I would love to kick it with you. I love to whatever. But it's just not. It's not that. You feel me, to the point where I'm finna just jump out the window for it. We don't have that rapport. So it's just like, just standing on your boundaries. And then also, if I would have done that, once she got here, what's the impression? Yeah. It's trick off time. Mm-hmm. Like, this nigga don't know me from a can of paint and just flew me all the way here. I'm finna get this nigga, hey, take me here, take me there, buy me this, buy me that, da-da-da. Like, nah, it ain't that. Like, so it's like, you gotta just kind of set the tone and dignity, respect. Like, come on now. You know what I'm saying?
Nah, for sure.
We're going to jump into this real topic for the day, man. So this episode, again, is all about what's going on in communities, you know what I'm saying? And this is a space that I work in, a space that I've been working in even before I knew it. When I jumped into teaching, I didn't really think about how much I would be involved in young kids' lives. I just really thought about teaching. I didn't think about too much about what goes on outside of the classroom. And I think when you're teaching in a privileged environment, you don't have to think about those things as much, right? But when you teaching in an impoverished environment, you are a lot of people. You're teaching kids how to tie their shoes, not because they're kids, because a lot of kids are neglected. A lot of these kids aren't raised; they're just born. So I'm teaching third graders how to tie their shoes. Yeah, I'm like, it's kids in third grade
daycare for the
still coming to school with the shoes on the wrong feet because they're just, no one's really watching over them for real. So it's like, how you don't know how to put your shoes on the right feet in third grade? You know what I'm saying? So I'm the tooth fairy. I'm a co-parent. I'm Santa Claus. I'm playing a lot of fucking roles outside of just being a teacher. Yeah. And in that experience, starting off as a teacher and now doing what I do now, it's just, I've learned a lot. Right. And just kind of like to lay out the landscape of Chicago where it stands. I was reading an article. This was in 2016. So it was a while ago, but not that long ago. And it was saying that 80% of all the murders in Chicago happen in 4 neighborhoods. Right. So as big as Chicago is, 80% of all the murders happen in 4 neighborhoods. So if you was to take, let's say an average of 400 murders a year in Chicago, that means if you live in one of those 4 neighborhoods, there was about 80 murders in your neighborhood in 1 year. If you live in that neighborhood, let's say from 8 to 18, that's 800 murders. That's 10 years, 80 murders a year in your neighborhood. That's 800 murders. What's the odds that you saw somebody get murdered? Pretty high if it's 800 murders. Right. What's the odds that you know somebody who got murdered? We ain't talking about the car accident. Somebody died in a car accident. Right. We ain't talking about when grandma passed away from diabetes or she just old age or whatever. We talking about niggas was getting murdered. And then we talking about, you also got family members that don't live in your neighborhood that you might have had those experiences with. So you think about the environment our kids live in is kind of ridiculous. You know what I'm saying? Also, what was it? In 2022, 51% of all murders went unsolved. Meaning that if you kill somebody, it's a 50% chance that you're going to get away with this shit. 93% of all shootings that didn't end in a killing was unsolved. So if you shoot a nigga, it's a 90% chance you're not going to get arrested for shooting somebody, a 50% chance that you could kill a motherfucker and get away with it in Chicago. That's insane.
Treacherous.
Bro. That is insane.
That's why we can't. That's why First 48 can't be in Chicago.
It'd be too many fail. Like they couldn't get an episode off for shit over there. Like it'd be terrible. You know what I'm saying? So, just looking at all the factors that play into, you know, our kids' lives, as well as we used to talk about redlining and how, you know, black people was kind of forced to only buy property in certain neighborhoods. But I think now we also need to talk about like property tax. You know what I'm saying? And how schools are funded primarily through property tax in Illinois, which is, to me, a form of oppression, right? Because if you're telling me the school gets more money, so first of all, Illinois State, or if you want to go over the state of Illinois, or you want to just go over the city of Chicago, it's one school system. You know what I'm saying? So why wouldn't we just distribute the shit evenly? Like we collecting all this money from property tax. Let's distribute this shit evenly amongst all the schools. You saying like, nah, if this area has a higher property tax, we're gonna put more money into the school. That's basically saying if I'm born in a poor neighborhood, I'm gonna go into a poor school. Yeah. I'm gonna get a poor education. The odds of me making it out this neighborhood is gonna be poor. Like, you know what I'm saying? So it's a great chance that my child is gonna be born in a poor neighborhood. It might not be the same neighborhood, but it's a good chance my son's gonna be born in a poor neighborhood because I got a poor education and could make it out. Now he's going to a poor school, getting a poor education, and it just perpetuates the cycle. And I think education is the key to all this. Like we you know, in a city where they spend so much money fighting crime and doing whatever, but it's like it really don't make sense because it's a byproduct. Like, go ahead.
You made a great point. So we only got Chicago public school. Like that's the school system.
Yeah.
And not distributing the property tax, the money that they're getting off property tax evenly. I can see if it was different divisions or different companies. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's crazy. That's the first time I heard that where it clicked like, wait a minute. If this is all one, you know, organization, why wouldn't you? And the reason why is it's a form of oppression.
Yeah, and it's no different than, you know, Chicago Park District is all one organization. You go on the north side, the grass cut.
Yeah.
All year round. You know what I'm saying? It's shoveled, the concrete shoveled all year round. But it's the same company. You go to the south side, the grass be up to your fucking knees before the spring hits. Like, what the fuck is going on over there? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's all one city, but it's a lot more potholes in certain neighborhoods than others. You know what I'm saying? So it's across the board. Like it's not even. And I think that we get so used to our oppression that it just go over our head. Like, we don't even think about the shit.
Seriously.
You know what I'm saying? Like, we be talking about, like, what's going on overseas and shit like that. like I think we just, like, kind of numb to the shit that's happening to us, so don't even really realize it sometimes. You know, but I was going to make another point about the school system, about property tax at least. But even outside of that, though, man, like, we got test scores, you know, they juke test scores and shit like that. I was working at CPS for a school, and, you know, a lot of the they get bonus funding for test scores, and administration gets incentives of raises and things like that based on test scores and attendance.
Yep.
So you see a lot of bullshit even in the school system where the last 2 weeks of school, you don't got to do shit.
Yeah.
After the test get turned in, you don't got to do shit. We're going to let y'all bring y'all video games to school and play the game all day. Why? Because we need attendance.
Yeah.
Because the principal don't meet her goal if you don't come to school. And we, instead of us making sure the teachers are still teaching and actually educating you for the last 2 weeks of school, we're going to let you, like, we scared that you're not going to come to school. So we're going to let you do what the fuck you want in this bitch. Like, you know what I'm saying?
My mom, I wasn't, let me see, I was in grade school. And then she actually volunteered. She had stopped working. And because she wanted to, she felt like it was a season where my mom felt like she wasn't as involved in our education.
Yeah.
So she was so pissed about that, she quit her job, and my daddy put everything on his back, and she was in the school system. Like, she was volunteering. Like, my mom was in the hallways. You damn near thought she worked at the school, right? Yeah. But I wasn't in that school. That was actually a high school, Bowen. One of my sisters had went to. And so she's in that, you know, school, and that was the first time I kind of got like a behind the scenes view on how shit go. That was the first time I think I learned about how important like the first 2 weeks of school is. I learned about like that's a money grab. It's like come because that's gonna dictate the budget for the school year based off the attendance. Yeah. Right. And it was like, damn, all this shit low key like a game. I'm saying I don't really.
It is, and it's like some principles. You know, it's like you also, and in some regards, you fighting for the kids because you want the budget to be able to get the kids the best education, the best programs possible. So you fighting for attendance for that. But it's like at what cost to where it's like kids ain't got to do shit for the last 2 weeks of school. We just not gonna like hold them accountable at all for nothing. And then on the other end of that, I've seen a situation where they get more. It's more advantageous for the school to have growth than attainment, right? So to kind of break this down and how fucked up public school is, attainment is being on grade level. Growth is you went from one score to a higher score the next year, right? So they get more, it's more advantageous for them or for the principal or whoever. They get a higher rating if it's more growth than attainment. So a school that's full of smart kids, like a Poe, a Lennart, a school that's like a testing school, they're not gonna have a lot of growth because kids are kind of already at the top.
Yeah.
But you get a school to where, I was at a school that was a turnaround school. 3% of the kids, so 12 out of 400, were on reading level, on grade reading level. Only 12 kids could read on the level they're supposed to be reading on at the whole school, and in 1 year, they went from 3% to 50%, right? That's huge growth. So now they're rated a level A+ school, a level 1+ school. Only half the kids can read at the school. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's like, it's a lot of growth, but it's still an issue. So one time, this is one school I was teaching at, and we had a list of kids that we had to help. Like I said, that one kid I was helping one-on-one with his reading. We'd get that list in the second quarter of the school year. They'd go off the first quarter of school and see kind of where the kids are. And if kids need extra assistance, they put them on this list for the rest of the school year. So we got our list of kids or whatnot, and we work with them throughout the school year. And you kind of see what these kids can do, what they can't do, what they can read, if they can count, all these things. As we go out, as testing comes up, they about to take their test or whatever. And on test day, I remember it was like a ton of substitute teachers at the school. Like I remember this shit like it was yesterday. It was a ton of substitute teachers. I didn't think nothing of it, but I'm like, damn, it's a lot of subs here today. I just remember thinking that. And the next school year, when we got our list for all of the kids that we were supposed to have, my lowest kids from the last year, because it's a list, but it's still a range. It's some kids, like, you just made the list. You damn near need a little bit of help and you'll be on par. You'll be out of this group because you just on par. But then I have my lowest kids who's like, bro, you're going to probably be in this group for 2 or 3 years. You know what I'm saying? It's going to take some time to get you where you need to go. My lowest kids were no longer on the list. I'm like, I work with these kids every day. I don't think that they tested off of this list. Like, this kind of don't make sense. Like, they made some, some improvements, but to go from like the lowest on the list to now you tested off the list, and some of my people at the top of the list still there. And I'm like, I talk to this kid every day. I work with him every day. I think he still needs these resources. You know what I'm saying? This extra help. And I talked to another teacher about it, and she's like, remember that day when all them subs was here? She's like, they helped them take the test. You know what I'm saying? The subs helped them take the test so the school can have growth.
Wow.
Right? Because if you take the kid that was almost off the list anyway and you grow him, you don't get as much credit if you grow that bottom kid and you get him off the list. Now you just skyrocketed. But guess what? If they're not on the list, they can't get the assistance. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You just fucked this kid over for your job. You know what I'm saying? That's crazy. So it's like our kids just got so, it's like they getting it from every end, bro. You know what I'm saying? They getting it from the legal system when we talk about, the juvenile system in court. On one end, you got judges not holding kids accountable. The kid could be on their third stolen car case. They like, oh, we gonna get a week in some electronic monitoring, and now they think they just could do anything until they turn 18 and they do the same shit they did when they were 17 and get 30 years for it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And then on the other end, you got judges who, you got the cash bail system, which they got rid of in Chicago, but that was one of the worst things that we had going on. To whereas, like, I mean, you I can talk about your situation too much, but let's say somebody get in a car, right?
Yeah. You funny
and
as
they
wow.
they get pulled over.
Who are you talking about?
No, I'm just saying, let's say somebody's in a car the car gets pulled over.
Mm-hmm.
They say it's a gun and some pills in the car.
Wow. Wait, you can't say pills because now they already think you talking about me.
No,
you can't throw pills in there.
No. You wasn't in the car. Oh, you wasn't in the car. Oh, my bad. Anyway, let's say, this person is in a car, there's guns and pills in the car, but it's not theirs. It's really not theirs. They didn't know the shit was in the car. They might have had a couple homies in and out the car, whatever the case may be, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right, cool. They get locked up for the shit. When they get locked up, they're going to get a bond. Let's say they don't have enough money, right? To make bail. They don't have the money. If it's their first charge, typically they're going to say, oh, we'll give you 2-3 years probation and you can go home.
Crazy.
Or you can fight this shit. You can't make bond. You're going to be in here for 2 years fighting this shit, at least, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you go to trial, basically fighting it is going to trial. If you say, I didn't do this, I'm not admitting to this, I don't have the bond money to get out, but I didn't do this, so I'm not admitting to it, that means you're going to trial. You can be in jail waiting for trial for 2 years.
Yeah.
If you get found innocent, you get out, but you still just wasted 2 years of your life. If you get found guilty, they smoking your ass. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna say they gonna max you out, but you ain't getting 2 years probation. They damn near giving you 5 years, whatever it is for a gun and some pills, 5-7 years, whatever the case may be. So you sitting there like, damn. So my options is say I did it and go home today, or go to trial and hope I win and waste 2 years of my life, or lose and get 5 years, 7 years, whatever the case may be. Most people are gonna they're gonna say they did it.
Yeah.
But now you a felon. Now you might can't vote. Now you can't get a gun legally. So you smoked. And the rates of, and now you got to say it's harder to get a job. So the odds of, second time offenders, because there's less opportunities, are pretty high. But this is some shit that you didn't even do.
Yeah. You
get what I'm saying? So the cash bail system is a system that's kind of hidden because it's so many separate factors that work together. You know what I'm saying? The one nigga saying, oh, I'll give you probation. The judge saying, well, your bond is this much. These motherfuckers is running a triangle offense on you and you don't even realize it.
That's fucked up,
you get what I'm saying? So the cash bail system is one of the worst things. 97%, and I looked at, this might not be the case no more, but when I was in college, I looked this up. So this was maybe 7-8 years ago. 97% of all criminal cases end in plea deals. So only 3% of all criminal cases go to trial. And it still takes 2 years to get to trial.
Yeah.
So imagine what would happen if everybody said, fuck it, I'm fighting it. But you got the right to a speedy trial. So meaning they can't hold you for too long before. First of all, if it's innocent until proven guilty, why am I sitting in jail waiting on trial?
Right.
You get what I'm saying? That's number one. Like, if I'm innocent until proven guilty, why the fuck am I in jail? Like, you know what I'm saying? So then you got like only 3% of people going to trial. If everybody said let's go to trial, they owe you a speedy process, but it's not enough judges, it's not enough courtrooms, it's not enough lawyers for everybody to go to trial.
Yeah.
Right? So in Chicago, they just got rid of cash bail, and a lot of people were scared of it. They called it the purge law. They finna let all these niggas out of jail, whatever the case may be. But they're really saying is that there's no longer bond no more. If you get locked up and there's no heavy evidence against you, you can go home. Or you don't got no crazy criminal history, you can go home. But it's up to a judge discretion. So is it gonna be winners and losers in that? Is it a nigga who probably committed a crime 10 years ago and now he back locked up for some shit he didn't do, and the judge looking at his record like, nah, G, you gonna have to sit down and fight this one. And even if you got the money, you can't bond out. Yeah. That's kind of fucked up. But I think that in the majority of any system is gonna have somebody's gonna get the short end of the stick. Anything you say that this is for all people, somebody's gonna lose. But I think that the cash bail system was killing us way worse than what we got going on right now. And if anybody familiar with the Khalif Browder story, you ever heard his story?
In New York?
He was in New York, stole a book bag, ended up on Rikers Island for 3 years, over 150 days in solitary, went crazy, got found innocent, wouldn't admit to doing the shit to get out, and ended up killing himself because he went crazy in jail. So these are just the landscape of what our kids is dealing with. You know what I'm saying? Like from the home situations to trauma in the streets. I just done seen a lot, bro. I could go on all day about this shit, but
I want to ask you something.
Go ahead.
Excuse me. So you was talking about like kids' test scores and how,
Yeah.
should be low and everything like that. And compared to like white neighborhoods, better neighborhoods, whatever you want to call it, those kids are generally just like more academically equipped to take these tests, to pass these classes and all that, like that type of stuff. So I'm wondering, I'm like, man, why is it that we're academically challenged? And of course, resources got something to do with it, everything like that. But it's something a little deeper. And so I started to think, you ever been at work, and listeners, y'all too, y'all ever been at work, and let's just say something's going on in your personal life, and it started to affect your work? Like, I've been in situations where I was dealing with whatever, and I couldn't necessarily perform to the best of my abilities at work. Like, my work started to be affected because of whatever. And I'm a grown-ass man.
Exactly.
So if you think about everything that you just explained, how our shorties are coming up, the environments that they in, the shit that they're dealing with. At like prime example, the young man who was in 5th grade and had got shot in the hand, saw his sister and dad get killed and all that type of stuff. Yeah. You talking about a 12-year-old, 11-year-old brain going through all of that outside? Don't you think it's gonna affect his work and his ability to pay attention, his ability to be competent, like his and her? I don't want to exclude young girls either. So that's a big part of like their outside life. It's not that they're just like not smart. They're balancing a lot of shit at such a young age compared to the people, to the kids in these better neighborhoods and better environments. They just got to go home and worry about cleaning their room. Yeah. These little niggas got to go home, worry about what they're going to eat. Some of them are parents to their siblings. Like it's much.
Talk about it, bro.
It's much more that's on their plates. Now I got to go to school and forget about all of this and put my focus on this test. I'm worried about, like, I gotta make sure I get home so I can let my little sister in.
Absolutely.
Like it's a lot of stuff that affects them.
Boogie had a poem where he said, "Can you give a homeless kid homework?"
Yeah.
You feel me? Like it was really times like working in Inglewood to where, it was a kid who, like, we knew his mom was a fiend. Like, she'd come up to the school to pick up his report card. You'll see it every blue moon. I'm talking about the whole hallway smell like dope.
That's crazy.
You know what I'm saying? The whole first floor hallway smell like dope. She leaned in, she linked over. You know how that shit just crazy. And I remember they had send people to go get him if he wouldn't come to school, because they'd know, like, he stayed, like, you could see his crib from the window. So they had send teachers or whoever to go, like, hey, go get him. You know what I'm saying? Go get him, tell him to come to school. So we motherfucker go out there and you open his fiends on the porch. You know what I'm saying? You go knock on the door, they open the door. All you see in the living room is just mattresses.
Damn.
Like, it's a dope house. Like, motherfuckers get high and sleep here. It's just the whole front living room just covered with mattresses. And he upstairs knocked the fuck out. Like, you know what I'm saying? At 9:30, 10 o'clock, and motherfucker get him and like, hey man, come to school. Woo, woo. And right now, like, he in the streets. You know what I'm saying? Like, his big brother got killed recently. He somehow fell into hanging out with the people his brother was into it with before he died. But it's like he don't have nobody. So it's like whoever got their arms open, that's which direction he going. And it's kind of like a lot of them, it seemed like they just, what were your odds of making it out were kind of like insurmountable almost. Like, yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want to get back to what you just said though, because it's a few things. Number one, Maslow's hierarchy of needs, right? You talk about, it's called Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Okay. It's basically like the things that you need to be able to reach a certain level. And the top level is self-actualization. So basically the first level, it's a pyramid, right? So the first level is you need your physiological needs. So breathing, food, water, shelter, clothing, sleep. You need that to be alive, right? If you have that, you can worry about safety and security, your health, employment, property, family, social ability. So it's basically saying that if you don't have food, water, and these things, you can't worry about property, employment, your health. Am I making the right eating decisions? I don't have, you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The next level is love and belonging. This is the third level. Friendship, family, intimacy, sense of connection. So again, if you don't have employment, if you don't have family, if you don't have social ability, you get what I'm saying? So like when I told that story about my homie taking the money out to teach a person when he was a shorty, it's like he's like, man, I love her, but I need this bread. It's like if you don't experience fairness, you can't exude fairness. You know what I'm saying? Like you can't really feel that strong connection to somebody or respect and shit like that. The fourth level is self-esteem, confidence, achievement, respect of others, the need to be a unique individual. So these are things that you need the rest to actually get to that level. And the highest level is self-actualization. That's what we want every human to get to the level of. And that's morality, creativity, spontaneity, acceptance, experience, purpose, meaning, and inner potential, right? So going all the way back to the bottom of food and nutrition and proper food and nutrition. And some of that is on the parents because the Takis is right next to the bananas and they cheaper. The bananas is cheaper. Like, you know what I'm saying? But you still get your kid Takis for breakfast and why they bouncing off the fucking walls all day.
Right.
So you got that, but then you got kids who I made a post a while ago because I observed some when I was teaching, I was standing in front of the building and like I would just see parents pull up, that car door swing opening, and all you hear is, hurry the fuck up, get the fuck out of my car. Man, like every morning, like because they was slow poking and made the parent late for work or whatever the case may be. So every 2-3 cars, somebody pull up and it's on. Like, you know what I'm saying? And the kid get out the car and they sad as fuck. And I was making a post saying, like, stop cursing your kid out when you drop them off to school because what ends up happening is they go into school, they sad, they head down, they don't want to talk to nobody.
So now they cursing somebody out.
Yeah, now they, well, I ain't even gonna say they cursing somebody out, but I'm talking about my little
affected.
I'm talking about my little kids though. I ain't even talking about like the big kids. Yeah, they probably going in on somebody, but they sad, whatever the case may be. So they not eating breakfast because they don't got no appetite because they sad. So they go to class, head down. They don't want to answer no questions. Now they head hurt. Now they damn they want to go to sleep. You get what I'm saying? You trying to get them involved in class, but they hungry, they head hurt, they sad, they head down. They really don't get on track till about 12:30, like damn near after lunch. You done miss reading and math by this point. So when you ask why you wondering why your kid fell in reading and math or can't read, whatever the case may be, some of that is because you cussing their ass out and they sad as fuck every day they walk in the building. They just not in the mood to be here.
I would dropping Trey off. It's been a few times where cause let's keep it real. These kids they'll piss you off for sure. But like with Trey, I take him to school every day. There's been times where he'll piss me off in the morning, and I'm conscious of what you just said, and it's like, I can't wait till you get out of school. I'm gonna tell him about this, but by that time, I don't even care no more. Yeah. But I know not to yell at him or ridicule him or just put that energy on him early in the fucking morning.
For sure, absolutely. And some of the decisions that we was talking about, you make. I had one kid who's on a football team, great athlete. Like I'm talking about a fucking monster. When I say a monster, it was to the point where he was like the size of a safety, skinny, lanky, tall. We could put that nigga at DE, and he was still dominant to the point. He was playing running back or something like that. He fumbled the ball, and he got to the sideline. Coach like, go get my motherfucking ball back. That play, he went and got the motherfucking ball back. Like that nigga was a dog. Like, you know what I'm saying? And but he got to a point where he was coming to school like every other week. And I'm like, where the fuck is he? Like he would miss a full week of school. I'm thinking he transferred, then he back. Then he missed a full week of school. I'm like, bro, what the fuck going on? And he ended up telling me, he like, bro, so my situation is my father, I go to this school because of my father. Like he lives across the street. So, but my father is not there. Like when I'm there by myself. There's no food there, right? So my mom lives a little bit far, not like super far out, but like she lives in the hundreds. We in Inglewood live in the hundreds, so that's about a 20-minute car ride, a few buses, whatever the case may be. But for a 7th grader, that's a little journey. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So basically, he's like, when I go to my mom's house, it's food there, but she not taking me to school, and she don't give a fuck if I go. Damn. So I don't have a way to get to school. So this shit fucking me up a little bit. So he basically like, I eat for 1 week and I go to school the other week. Like that's fucked up, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like he was like, I go to my mom's crib, I eat for a week, then I come back, I go to school, and like I just, I eat lunch at school, I get some chips or whatever, and I just chill over there for a week, come to school, and then next week I go. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm like, this is like a 13-year-old, bro, making these type of decisions. Like that shit crazy, bro.
And that's on his plate, and he's expected to come to school and perform.
like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so again, it's like when he fall behind and he can't go to a high school that he want to go to, he got to go to the neighborhood school or whatever he going. Again, the options and resources are so limited, but you'll hear people say shit like, oh, well, I'm from the hood and I made it out. And you know what I'm saying? I went to college and I did this, I did that. It's like, bro, people going through shit that you can't even imagine, because it could be two kids in the same household, right? To where he might got a little brother to where his little brother go to the neighborhood school. So his brother, he could be in the household with another kid who not even experiencing the same shit that he experiencing, right? When I was a kid, my right-hand man, as I told the story about a couple episodes ago, who was doing all the wild shit, he had a little brother. His little brother never got in the streets. Why? Because he had his big brother. His big brother did everything for him. It's like, bro, you don't gotta do none of this shit. I'm gonna make sure you got everything you need. You good. Like, I'm like, when nobody fucking with him or none of that. So it's like, you can't say like, oh, just because I'm from this environment, I made it. I mean, you can make it like, you can have two niggas in the same household that ain't in the same situation. You know what I'm saying? Just because of the social dynamics. So it's a lot, man. But another thing I thought about off what you said, we talk about just the white counterpart, you know what I'm saying? Or the, you know, whatever, like what's going on in Naperville or these suburban communities to where these kids are more successful academically and whatever the case may be. You know the quote, we all know the quote, show me your friends, I'll show you your future. Yeah. Right? Or you gonna be the average of the 5 people around you. So if the average of the 5 people around this kid in the suburbs is an accountant, a police officer, a doctor, you know, a fireman, whatever the average of that is what you turn into, versus me. My neighbor work at a factory. My other neighbor hustle. This other nigga be on the block outside all day. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't even see nobody doing nothing for real. So what ends up happening is, and it's also a disparity of just oppression. Let's just call it what it is. It's oppression because it's all intentional and it's all designed. But the average, like, A student from a neighborhood like Inglewood probably becomes an accountant or a teacher. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, a C student in Inglewood as a boy, you probably gonna be in the streets to an extent. You might end up, like, I ain't gonna say you gonna be in jail like long term, but you know what I'm saying? You probably gonna be up in the streets. You probably gonna see some type of legal trouble. It's a lot harder. You know what I'm saying? But the average C student or the average A student in Naperville is probably gonna be a Fortune 500 CEO, whatever the case may be. The average C student is probably gonna end up being an accountant, a teacher. It's gonna probably end up with being the A student in the hood is. You get what I'm saying? Just because of the access and what you able to see. It's hard to see. It's hard to become some shit you've never seen.
You can't be what you can't see.
It's difficult. And some people do it. And you have,
but that don't make the exception don't make the rule.
Exactly. And that's what I hate about it, is that people will try to point at the exception and be like, well, he did it.
Well, I made it out. We talking about like the exception. I like that statement for all subjects across the board. Yeah. Like, anytime you're trying to make an argument, somebody's defense is they'll point out an anomaly. Yeah. Like, well, look at that. That's not what's generally happening. You know? So
and I hate that black people buy into it as well, though. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like white people have that. Like, they look at black people and say, well, look at Michael Jordan. Like, you don't have to turn to crime. You know what I'm saying? But you have black people who do the same shit. Like, whether it be about themselves or about someone else. Like, oh, I don't have no empathy for what's going on over there because I came from something similar to that and I figured it out. And what that is like to me is, if we all had to race, like all humans had to line up for a race, right? And it's white people, black people, whatever. And they say go. White people just take off running. But black people got our feet tied together, so we got to hop. Right? That's oppression. That's, you know, that's the hood, that's poverty, that's teenage pregnancy, that's, you know, all the shit that we got, poor education, police brutality, that's the shit that's around our feet. And then so we got all this our feet tied together and we hopping, right? Yeah. It's that one nigga that figure out how to get his foot loose. And he could stop and show everybody else how to get their feet loose. But he said, you know what? I figured it out. Y'all niggas can figure it out. And he take
Pull
the fuck
yourself
off
up by
running.
your bootstraps.
You know what I'm saying? Like, but what you're not thinking about is while you try to catch up by yourself and not help nobody else and try to catch up with these white people, for one, when you get there, you're gonna be by yourself. For two, one of these other niggas that you could have helped might be faster than you. He probably could have got there before you got there.
Mm-hmm.
You get what I'm saying? So it's just the analogy that like helping pull somebody up is always what we need to be doing because one of us making it just don't really mean much. You know what I'm saying?
That was
and they gonna treat you like shit when you get there.
For sure. You're not gonna feel accepted.
No.
You're gonna I ain't gonna say you regret it, but it's not gonna be a pleasurable experience for you.
Yeah.
What you just described, somebody actually did like a social experiment on that. They had a bunch of white people, black people, Chinese people, all of this line up on one line. Yeah. And they said like, all right, we about to have a race. Mm-hmm. And whoever get to the end wins type shit. Yeah. All right, before we get started though, I'm gonna ask y'all some questions, and if it relates to you, take a step forward. Mm-hmm. How many of y'all grew up with 2-parent households? They step forward, and they ask all of those type of questions that's gonna benefit socioeconomic questions. Yep. And some people was damn near already at the finish line. They didn't have that much far to go. Some niggas was damn near still at the finish line, and it was
at
just
the start line.
At the starting line. And it just really showed you that like this is life.
This is not an even playing field.
It's not an even playing field.
And when it comes to race, it's super unbalanced, bro.
If you're white, take 3 steps forward. Like, you know what I'm saying?
It's crazy, man. It's insane, bro. So, with all of this said, I think some things that we can do to help is actually like it's time. It's such a simple answer. The answer is time. I see so often that there's a celebrity and they donate $10,000 to a school, and everybody get on the internet and is like, them motherfuckers got $20 million. Why the fuck they donate $10,000 to a school, bro? Whether they donate $10,000, $1 million, that ain't gonna do shit for a kid life, right? You could put new computers in the school. Guess what they're gonna do with the computers? They're gonna figure out how to hack them bitches to play games on the motherfuckers, because that's what we was doing. We had all brand new computers in CBI. The time we should have been using them bitches for education, we were trying to, how the fuck do I get around this blocker to play this pool game? Like, you know what I'm saying? Because I don't have the value for education because I don't know what I want to be. Yeah. And I don't even know I'm here because I have to be here.
And all y'all niggas was cybersecurity analysts.
Yeah, like, so a new textbook don't mean shit if the kid don't want to read it at the end of the day. Yeah. So it's about time, like actually getting whether it's your nephews, whether it's kids in your school around, it's like spending that time. I always say, I think it would be way more beneficial for someone like a Warren Buffett to go sit with high school seniors for 45 minutes and just talk about what their life goal is with one of the richest people in the country than him donating $1 million to the school. That's more impactful, in my opinion, to individual students than you just dumping money into a school district, and it doesn't really impact kids on an individual level like that. It might be a couple kids you open a STEM program and this kid end up being fucking, he cured cancer. Like that's amazing. Yeah. It's one kid. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I think especially in our community, in a black community, we really need to get in tune with these kids, bro. They're seeking guidance. A lot of niggas, to be honest, is scared of these kids. Like, just being honest. Like, you see the average 15-year-old walking down the street with a fucking shiesty on. You don't want to talk to this nigga. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you don't got no conversations for them.
That niggas look dangerous.
They do, and they are.
Yeah.
They are. Like, that's a fact. They are dangerous. But one thing that's for sure is that all of these kids that's committing these crimes, that's standing in front of these judges, they were all victims before they became criminals. Mm-hmm. They were victims of teenage pregnancy. They were victims of poverty. They was victims of a bad education. They was victims of seeing domestic violence in the house. They was victims of witnessing murders, their friends getting murdered. And then they went and perpetuated these things in society. So this shit happened to them first. We was all born innocent babies when we came out the fucking womb.
Yeah.
So something happened to this nigga for him to take the route that he took. But we don't want to address that. We just want to talk about criminals and lock them the fuck up instead of saying like, okay, because we can lock, and it's the thing, it's more profitable to put money in crime than it is in education.
True.
It's more profitable. A private prison shouldn't exist, bro. Because every business has a business plan, right? Mm-hmm. If you open up a restaurant, you're gonna figure out
The
how do
goal
I
is
get
to
people
be
to eat this food?
Okay.
How do I get, like, what am I gonna do? What kind of commercial am I gonna make to get people in my restaurant to eat my food so I can make money?
Mm-hmm.
So if you open up a private prison, what's your business plan?
Yeah.
How do I get niggas to get to jail? It's a private prison means someone is profiting off filling this prison up.
Yeah.
You don't think that nigga is trying to make sure people go to jail? Like,
and his homies are lawmakers.
the shit is crazy what's going on in America right now. It's crazy. And they not targeting their own people.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like the school to prison pipeline is real. They talk about how they use 3rd grade test scores to determine how big this prison is gonna be. That's fucking crazy.
They plotting on these niggas.
And we hear that and think about it in a general sense as if your kid name ain't on the fucking 3rd grade roster and they looking like, you know what I'm saying? Like, okay, what's Chicago looking like? What's some test scores in Chicago looking like? Bet.
That's our market.
20 more beds. Like, are you serious, bro? But we dumping money into crime. It's just like, bro, crime is literally, someone has to get caught for it to be a crime, right? So if you got a neighborhood like Beverly and Morgan Park, and you put, which is one district, but you put all the police officers on the Morgan Park side where the black people live, there's gonna be more crime because there's more police to catch people doing shit. It's white boys riding around with pills and guns in their car too, all day. But they're not getting caught because there's no fucking police over there. You put fucking 30 more cops in that white neighborhood, guess what's gonna happen? Crime gonna go up because people gonna get caught doing shit they ain't supposed to be doing. You know what I'm saying? So
that's real.
So for you to say like we're gonna put more cops in this black neighborhood equals what? More people getting caught doing shit, more crime. What we gonna do? Put more cops in the black neighborhood. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just really not a fair thing that's happening. And I don't know. I think we just really gotta grab up our kids, grab our boys, and talk to them. You know what I'm saying? And give them guidance. They thirsty for the guidance. We need to break or we cool? Okay. They thirsty for the guidance. They thirsty for the mentorship. And when you reach out and you actually sit and talk to them, like you will see, like, no, they've been waiting on somebody to stop them and ask them what they got going on with their life and, you know, get them some type of opportunity. Like, maybe you should go to trade school. Maybe this. Man, I've been thinking about that, but I don't even know where to go for that. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I've been thinking about that, but I don't even know what I got to do or how to get into it. Ain't nobody around them doing shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, everybody around them doing what they doing. So it's not a thing of they don't want to do better. It's that they don't know how and don't nobody want to talk to them. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
For sure.
Absolutely. What else we got? Where else we want to go with this conversation? Before we wrap this up, I want to talk about like the effect social media in general. I want to go into the red pill shit a little bit because I've been seeing things that's been bothering me. You already know how I feel about the red pill shit, but I've been seeing things that have been bothering me more and more, and I know it came from that community. You know what I'm saying? And I think social media in general can be harmful. You know what I'm saying? It's some good things to come from social media. I think people in our generation are working out more. I think
it's definitely become a trend to be in shape, and that's a beautiful trend because it's fucked up trend that people. To be in shape, to be healthier, to buy property. Like, it's a lot of trends that's coming from social media that's positive, but I think there's a lot of negative shit too that's affecting our kids. I think drill music did a number on our culture. When you think about how kids gangbang, when you think about, you know, dissing dead people and all this shit, like that shit came from here, bro. That shit came from here. I was watching a video about Wallow talking about when he was about to get out of prison after his 20-year joint, and he was talking to his homie about what's going on in the streets, and he's like, bro, these kids is different. Like, you know, I guess Philly didn't have like gangs like that. They had blocks. I don't know how that shit was set up, but the nigga was telling him like, bro, my son and some whole other shit that wasn't going on before this Chief Keef shit then took over this drill shit, and they like the whole. I feel like the country shifted street culture wise to what was going on in Chicago, and this you should have seen the Fulio, what is his name, Julio that got killed on his birthday or something like that. Don Julio's his name. This nigga. You fucking around.
Yeah, so it's like the drill music shit did a number on our kids, you know what I'm saying? They made murder kind of like romanticized and glorified.
That's a fucking oxymoron. Like,
Yeah, I feel like we just super desensitized. You know what I'm saying? To what's going on.
Desensitized to murder too.
Yeah.
But this morning I was on my way to the gym, and it was a motorcycle accident.
Yeah.
And it just like police wasn't around or nothing. Like it just, like I seen the dude dead like in the street.
Yeah.
And I'm looking at it, I'm like, damn, it's crazy. Like I didn't feel no way. I didn't feel anything.
Yeah.
I was just like, I'm literally riding past like, God damn. Then boom, I'm to the gym. I'm get my workout in. Like, and then I also saw people, like I saw white people, or a white woman specifically. She was a motorist, pulled over. She's like, oh my God, she crying and shit. And I'm just like, I didn't feel anything.
Yeah, it's definitely, motherfuckers desensitizing. I think the other thing the drill did was kind of made things that are legal fashionable.
Mm-hmm.
Like when we was kids, it was like, all right, we all gonna get dreads. We all gonna get some tattoos. We all gonna get some fake red monkey jeans and some fake vape. You know what I'm saying? Like now kids is like, I can need a 30 clip. Like I need to have that look. Like I'm gonna want to put an Ithaca sticker on a 50 round clip. Like why is it part of fashion to have guns?
God.
Like illegal guns and switches
the
and shit.
Ithaca sticker is
Even
crazy.
niggas who not shooters, never gonna shoot nobody. It's just part of a look. You know what I'm saying? Like some of my young guys that I mentor in college got fucking extended clips and shit like that. It's like, bro, you not in the streets at all. Like you don't got nobody you beefing with, none of that shit. It's literally like this is a look. And I feel like drill music really did a number on niggas.
You know who damn, what's his bro name? He a battle rapper. He in jail for Rico right now.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, Sue Surf. He was he was talking to it was like he was debating back and forth against Calico.
Yeah.
And
Like talking or rapping?
No, not talking to this nigga.
Yeah.
Like, cause Calico was obviously like, cause what you described like some little niggas that's in the streets. They want it's fashionable. Yeah. They want to just be the look. Like you probably not even out here like that, but the culture made it cool.
Yeah.
Right. So he was talking to Calico because Calico kind of fit that description.
Yeah.
And Surf was like really one of them guys in the streets.
Yeah.
And and hold on, I wanna let me see. Hold on.
Hebrew Israelite gets nigga, your daddy was wild. You a fucking rapper, like you said, nigga. Dead homies, you a rapper, nigga. Act like it, nigga. Them buffs is cool. Being from Detroit is cool. You from a street place. You're of street essence. Everybody on the block is from the street. Even a little nigga sitting on the porch that's just watching the niggas trap. Technically, he from the block. Even a nigga that's just walking down the street, going to school. Technically, he from the block because he live here. You just a nigga that was on the block. Act like that, my nigga, for real. Y'all niggas is weirdos talking all this because you got shot, da-da-da. You would have died, dummy. You would have died. You don't even know how to act in them type of situations. Oh, nigga, from this side, let me go that way. Oh, you don't know. You don't got them type of instincts at all. Have no fucking shots fly at you, nigga. You dumb, nigga. Niggas try to kill me, nigga. Fuck is you talking about? Niggas try to kill me. I got a zipper forever, nigga. Fuck is you talking? You sound stupid. Real niggas don't even play.
Yo.
That
was some of the realest shit. Like the nigga that's on the block, like you're technically from the street.
Ain't that the same nigga Loaded Lux was battling that he kind of treated the same way?
Yeah.
He got a classic battle. That's the same nigga?
Yeah, that's him.
No, not the
you talking about Calico?
I'm talking about Calico.
Yeah,
and Loaded Lux.
I mean, Loaded Lux. Yeah, that's like a fucking monumental battle.
He was treating the fuck out of that nigga about the same shit.
Like I think your daddy was like that, but
yeah.
So that's what happens when culture makes shit fashionable. You pretending to be some shit you ain't.
It's unfortunate, man. So again, I think, if we could start something to where we make the shit cool to just like grab these young guys, mentor them, get them resources, have an open line of communication with them, even if it's just starting up, teaching them about girls. Like, man, what's going on? You got a girlfriend? Woo, what's going on? And that's something they open. Man, bro, I just met this girl last week. She asked me about some food already. She tripping. Woo. Right. That could be your end with shorty. Mm-hmm. And now he just calling you about this, about that. Then you slip certain like, hey man, you ain't think about going back to school? You ain't think about going ahead and finishing? Like, man, I know they got this trade school. You go there for 4 months and come out making $80,000 plumbing. Like, you know what I'm saying? Whatever the case may be.
That's what we do.
Yeah, man. Yeah, it's just giving these guys some resources, something to look forward to. I think the red pill shit is, in my opinion, just the worst shit to happen in the last 5 years. It's new still, it's fresh.
It's very new.
And I think it started, I honestly think it started in a positive place. I'm not gonna lie. I think it started in a positive place. I think it started with men saying that, like, hey, we need a voice too. Like, women always complaining about what's going on wrong with relationships and Steve Harvey on their side and shit like that. But hey, some of y'all be fucked up too. You know what I'm saying? And it's a lot of niggas out here who getting a raw deal, who getting the short end of the stick, who divorced and getting fucked up. But I think it went too fucking far. And I think that too many of the wrong niggas, you know what I'm saying, created a voice. And I think that there are more insecure men than strong men. There are more weak men than strong men. There are more men that are struggle with women than men who don't. So once you create a community for that, for that
voice is louder.
It's gonna be loud as fuck, and no one's there to. It's so many of them that anyone who tries to correct them is like shunned out. I compare it to like if we work a job. Let's say we all work at Target on a night crew. You know what I'm saying? And at the end of the night, we all steal $20 out of the register. That's what we've been working for 4 years. This is what we do.
Right.
Then this new nigga come in and he like, damn, don't y'all think that, you know, like, y'all sure y'all want to do that? That's kind of bogus. Like, man, get this goofy ass nigga the fuck on. Like, first you got to call him some type of name to like discredit his whole opinion. And then you got to shun him for the community. So it's like, oh, he's a simp. Like, get him the fuck out of here. Like, oh, he want to get married? This weak ass nigga. Like,
dumb.
I think that, and I say that it's bad because, of course, the city girl shit, detrimental. Of course, it is. It is. But I think it's a response to men. I think that men taught women how to be city girls. Like, niggas was saying money over bitches since 1992. Women said, you know what? You're right. We got some bread now. Now we just want the money and that's it. You know what I'm saying? And fuck you too. You know what I'm saying? So I think that we taught them that, and they're perpetuating the behavior. Yeah. And I think that even in that, men are still leading women. We just leading them off a fucking cliff. Like, you know what I'm saying? But you know what I'm saying? So I think that's what's happening. But at the same time, you know, now we're responding to the city girl thing, which we shouldn't be. And I think that's where a lot of the red pill shit came from. And I think that it's just going too far. Like I talked about early on Instagram, I saw the post. I think I showed it to you. Did I send it to you?
Which one?
With the girl with the triplets?
Yes, you did. I saw that.
Yeah. So it was a girl with, she did a little TikTok video where she had like a ticking time bomb. They went in the closet, the bomb blew up, and she came out with triplets. And everybody in the comments going in like, where's the father? Where's the dad?
What if he at work because he got to fucking provide for them 3 kids? He ain't got time to be out making a fucking TikTok. Like, did you think of that?
Exactly. But it's like, even if it was the case that the father was absent, why are we like shitting on her? Yeah. We don't even know the situation. Like, you know what I'm saying? Why are we shitting on the girl? And it's just like, niggas don't care about the situation. That's the thing. It's like, niggas don't care. It's just like, oh, she got 3 kids. We're going to assume she's a single mom. We're going to shit on her. We're going to humble her. And it's just like, how did we get to this place? Like, this is crazy. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
We could do a whole nother podcast on that alone.
Yeah, I think it's just very detrimental to the black community. I don't know how we move forward if that's our mentality. And if that's how, you know, we did the thing about stepdads. It was niggas like 15, 16 on TikTok. Someone said, I would never be a fucking stepdad. Well, like, bro, shut up. Nigga, if you don't go watch WWE and get the fuck off by TikTok. Like, what are you talking about? And it's just like, but if they being raised on that, what the fuck do this shit look like? We think our generation fucked up when it come to dating. What do this shit look like in 20 years and 15 years?
10. These niggas 15, 25. They're going to be 25 in 10 years.
Yeah, it's like, it's crazy, man. So, that's all I got, man. That's all I got.
Same.
You gonna do AMP, wrap it up? What time we at?
We wrapping it up today.
Damn, you got AMP?
No.
Nigga, what?
No, I don't.
All right, man. Again, as always, this episode's a little different. I hope y'all enjoyed it. You know what I'm saying? We have a mentorship group. We have 6 young guys who we working with for a year. If you got some young guys that you want to come link up with us and come out and kick it with us, we got some things set up for them. We're going to take them paintball and do a couple other things. Hit us up, of course. And outside of that, man, of course, as we always say, man, whatever you chasing in life, go out there full throttle and take your foot off the gas. Never be afraid to shoot your shot, man.
Shoot or shoot.
All right, we out.
Out.
It's all God in the game.